Hey YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. Enjoy the video. Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. Now I have MJ with me on here today, and we're going to be talking about something that we discussed in a previous video, and I know a lot of you guys kind of jumped on as well in the comment section below there, and we just wanted to basically flesh out this particular subject a little bit more in its own video. Basically, when it comes to Universe 6 and just how OP they are, but it doesn't necessarily have to be Universe 6, it could be any of the other universes standing, not necessarily Universe 7, because we know everyone on that team. But with Universe, 4, and with Universe 6, and with Universe, I guess, 2, we don't necessarily know exactly who some of these people are, what are their abilities, and everything else like that, let alone all the people we have seen, but we don't necessarily know what they're capable of. But when it comes to Universe 6, there's one really interesting person that they're showing in this particular, lineup. They gave us 8 people, 7 of which we already knew were out there. They had introduced Kale and Caulifla, and now they're hiding 2 people. What are these 2 people? We don't necessarily know, but who is this little pig guy, and what is he doing in this lineup? Why is he so important? And we discussed this, like I said, in the other video, and some of the other guys pointed out this as well. What if this guy, MJ, is the healer of Universe 6? I mean, what if this guy is going to sit around and basically, as we know, they can't use sensu beans, they can't use any weapons or outside resources or something, but they didn't necessarily say you can't use something like a healer. I mean, Dende heals. A lot of people we've seen in this series can heal just without, any consequence. It's part of their body. It's part of the way that they could actually just kind of approach somebody. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like this would kind of give Universe 6 a little bit too much an advantage? Do you think it would allow them to kind of write off the whole Caulifla and Kale are still in the tournament, but they're exhausted and beat to shit after everything that they've gone through over the last couple episodes? Just your general thoughts.
Well, hi guys, MJ, I'm here. I'm on this video. I'm collabing.
I already said you were.
I'm collabing with Real to Real.
Go down to the description section below and go hit that link. Subscribe to MJ. The guy makes some really awesome content for every single body. Yeah.
So anyways, we're talking about a healer, and overall it makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't you bring someone who can heal you to a tournament where you could potentially get fucked up? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, the point is to eliminate your opponent, but some people are generally just going to get messed up, and situations like what happened with Kel, where they get knocked out, they're unconscious, or they just get beat up really bad like Caulifla, it makes sense to bring a healer. Now, I've mentioned this before about Hit. It seems like Hit went around to do some recruiting, right? Like, they contacted Kaba specifically to go get the science, you know what I mean? So you could argue that maybe Hit rounded up everyone else while Kaba went to go get the science, You could imply that, I guess. If that's the case, Hit is a tactician. Hit is someone who is incredibly smart. He makes fun of Goku for revealing his tactics in the last tournament, and he's like, I'm older than you, I'm 1,000 years old, I'm over 1,000 years old. Goku's like, oh, yeah, you're way older than me, and he bows to him, It's like, Hit is a tactician. He's gonna say, maybe, we can't bring any healing objects or anything like that, so maybe we could find someone who can heal, you know what I mean? That would actually make a lot of sense. And plus, it's like you have Frost, who is this former, he knows everybody. He's fought alongside Kaba. He's went around stopping planets. Dude won like a Nobel Peace Prize or something. And then you have Hits who lived over 1,000 years old. It's not uncommon that they could find someone where they at least know of someone who can heal, you know what I mean? And get them for the team. That's not uncommon. I don't find that as being like an ass pour or nothing. So them getting someone who can heal, it makes total sense, at least from my point of view. And that would actually really correlate with what happened in episode 101, because we know, like you mentioned, Kale and Caulifla, they got beat up really bad. well, Kale was unconscious because of herself, the form. But yeah, Caulifla got really, really, really beat up. And Goku was like, hey, you guys are to get stronger, so we'll fight you, sometimes later, So come find me towards the end of the tournament. We'll fight again, How does that make sense if Caulifla's just really banged up and Kale's unconscious? Like, maybe Kale will regain her consciousness, but it's like, how is Caulifla gonna get stronger? It's just like, it would actually make sense that they have a healer, so they can heal her and they can take advantage of like a Zenkai, a power up, you know what I mean? So that to me makes perfect sense. I don't know what you think of that though.
it also kind of puts it into a bit of perspective, considering the fact that, like we've talked about before with Kaba going up against Vegeta, even if Kaba believes he can win that fight, it's going to be a hard-fought fight. He knows that. I mean, even if he believes, for whatever reason, he could win, you know, it's going to be a hard-fought fight. How are you going to continue on with the tournament going forward after that particular fight? Well, if you have someone who can heal you, and this is something that they've a long tradition in Dragon Ball, at least Dragon Ball Z, where we had people like Dende healing everyone through the whole Frieza fight, giving everyone just kind of a boost in energy, and then the whole fight with Kid Buu, where Goku was like, I just need a minute to rest, and he didn't have enough time because obviously the difference there was Super Saiyan 3 just stole so much of the stamina that he couldn't necessarily recover, basically put him on a really bad place in order to actually even fight Kid Buu. But, you know, they were sitting there arguing with each other, I believe, where it's like, you know, we need to go to the sacred world of the Kais, and you need to heal Goku. And he's like, well, I can't. So at least that was their ideas. Goku has a stamina problem. He has an energy problem. But if you heal him, he'll get that energy back, at least enough to actually fight. I mean, and then they use the wish to give Goku just enough energy to fight Majin Buu and kill him. So this is a long-established tradition, and not just that, but you also have the Zenkai boost, which, talking about, you know, how does Goku know whether or not he knows they have a healer or not? How does Goku believe that they're going to get stronger? Either they're going to rest, and that's not the way, at least that we know of, that Zenkais actually work, but getting to heal after being beaten up so badly might actually bring upon the Zenkai, especially the way it's been working in Dragon Ball Super, where someone like Black can just Zenkai like a monster without even getting hurt that bad. So it would work with super logic. I really think that this makes a lot of sense, and I know a lot of people might jump on this and be like, no, it doesn't make sense, it's not allowed. I was like, remember, they haven't disallowed any of this in any real degree. They just said you can't use weapons and you can't kill people. Like, you have to if you get them unconscious, they're still on the freaking stage. You have to throw them off. Like, that's the rule. But people like Dende, people like the Supreme Kai, we've seen mortals be able to actually use their power to heal people who are vastly, vastly superior to them in strength. So it makes sense that Champa, being conniving as he is, would bring someone in to actually heal everyone. And given the fact that it could be, just potentially be, this pig, that makes sense to me. I mean, take a good look at this guy. He has his mage robe on, like, which to me kind of screams like healer. He's the healer of the group, and he has these like weird looking Morpheus glasses and some kind of a mohawk. I mean, he looks pretty awesome, if you honestly. And we haven't seen him out of all the people that they could have. I mean, they could have easily, at the very beginning of this particular tournament, taken this guy, put him in the shadows with the other three people, and just kind of had him sitting there. You know, not necessarily show him, but they showed him for a reason. Is the very fact that he could be a healer the reason they showed him to begin with, and giving us a reason. If Kale and Caulifla come back and they're like, yeah, we're super strong, this would be a reason for that. And another thing, like, I know a lot of people, again, well, maybe because he's a healer, that's unfair and he won't be able to be in the tournament. One of the things that we've been saying and arguing as a fan base for the longest time, and potential spoilers here, guys, we're going to get into some potential spoilers, so this is your last warning, but a lot of people were talking that, you know, Goten and Trunks weren't picked because you can't fuse in this tournament. That was a general fan speculation. They never said it one way or the other. But considering the spoilers that we're getting for an upcoming episode, it seems like the women in Universe 2 are trying to fuse together. At least that's the way I interpreted the way they're explaining it. I could be wrong, but that's the way I interpret it. So if that's allowed, of course, having someone who can use their body power to actually heal somebody makes a lot of sense to me.
Also, this is a little other, it's not like specifically stated, but you can argue that this is an actual scene that could back up why there could be a healer on the team. You remember when Goku goes all out against Toppo, right? Toppo's powering up, and so is Goku. He uses the Kaioken on top of his blue form. Well, what happens is, after that fight, Champa's like all down on his luck. He's like, could I have 9 more hits on the team? You know what I mean? He's like so depressed. He sees how strong Goku's got, and he sees the Universe 11 as a formidable foe, you know, with the Pride Troopers. He's like, can I please have 9 more hits, you know, or something like that. And Violet's just like, well, we'll see what happens, right? Well, look at how confident he is now. He is super confident in his team, even though he knows Vegeta has access to God Ki, and even though he saw how strong Toppo and Goku were at the Gen exhibition match. To me, it would make sense that he's confident because he knows he may have that extra, you know, trump card that he has a healer on his team. Like, they could actually headcanon this whole thing that the Saiyans, the tanks, and Hit are the ones who went out to fight. They're the ones who are trying to eliminate people, while some maybe of the other hidden characters stayed behind to protect, let's say, the pig. So the pig's not going to get thrown off. So you have Hit, the Saiyans, and then of course, you know, Magetta and Potamo going around, getting into fights, getting into scraps, and he knows that he could potentially never lose because he has Hit, who's so powerful. He has the Saiyans, who are so powerful. Then he has the tanks, and then he knows they can get healed. You know what I mean? So that could be a way to look into why Champa's so confident in this damn tournament, where everyone is kind of like freaking out. You know, you had Universe 9 like try to jump on people like wolves because they didn't want to get erased. You had Universe 3 like kind of running out of strategies here. You have Beer is freaking out because Goku and Vegeta are constantly off guard. and then you have Champa like over here sitting back like, get him, take him out, you know. So it's like he's so confident compared to the other gods of destruction. Even like Vermaud, I believe, or the Clown God of Destruction, has lost a bit of confidence after losing 6 members, you know. So it's like, it's, to me, that would be a cool way to back up why he's so confident, because he knows his team has that trump card. They can be healed, you know what I mean? And I think that would make a lot of sense. We know that Vados and Champa are very conniving. They'll do anything it takes to win. We saw that with Frost and the Poison. And then we know Hit's a tactician. We know that they probably have planned for this. Geekdom pointed out in one of his reviews, which I didn't notice either, is that Hit saved Caulifla with his time skip. So you can tell they really thought this shit out. Like, Hit is kind of like he catches people before they can get thrown out, you know what I mean, with his time skip. They really planned this out. It would make total sense for them to have a healer, you know.
And I think it would be interesting. I mean, like I said, this is something that's not new. I mean, if they introduce somebody who has an ability to heal other people, especially people who are vastly superior to them, like, it wouldn't be that new to the mythology of Super or Dragon Ball in general to be unbelievable. And it would be, I mean, I would imagine that would have been something that every universe might be thinking about. It's like, you know, we have 48 minutes, but one of the things they did show in the preliminary matches were the Trio to Danger were getting really tired. Everyone was getting a little bit tired from the fight because they're going all out for 48 minutes. And as much as everyone wants to sit there and be like, well, all the fights are super long. I mean, we've talked about this from time to time. Dragon Ball fights are seconds. Like, they are not, like, and they have been seconds long, like 30 seconds a minute, 2 minutes or something like that since Dragon Ball days. Like, literally since the first tournament all the way till now, most fights are basically minutes long, not necessarily hours, even though it takes multiple episodes for us to see like one person fight another person, and it looks like it goes on and on and on. Remember, these guys are moving at the speed of light, and we're getting to see it. Like, we get to see it in slow motion, basically. So as much as it seems weird, it's like, oh, only 48 minutes. It's like, this is going to be the longest fight in Dragon Ball history. Like, that's not, you know, slowed down or, you know, any other thing that's going to basically take it away. Like, basically an all-out fight for 48 minutes. Basically nobody, or at least at every given moment in that 48 minutes, somebody's going to be moving, somebody's going to be fighting somebody. We're going to get tired, and putting a healer out there who can help keep your stamina up and everything else like that is going to turn the tides. And it's not even something that can make Universe 6 way too OP, because I imagine, because this guy might be working from his own ki to basically heal people, and even if he can heal people who are vastly superior to him, he will get tired at some point. So Universe 6 only has this option a couple times, you know? They only have like a get out of jail a couple times, like free cards, and Caulifla and Kale are already, you know, destroyed. So even if it's just to heal them, even if that will only take him out and he has to heal them, that puts Universe 6 back on some kind of a tier. They have all 10 fighters besides that guy, so 9 fighters at that point. And you get Kale and Caulifla back in it and back in the fight, which gives us something else to look forward to. I really like this idea.
Oh man, I completely agree. There's a lot of evidence to back up that they could have one. It's kind of implied, you know what I mean, with the whole Goku stuff. Like, how are Caulifla and Kale going to get stronger? We know they're going to be refreshed some way, somehow, you know. We know they're going to get a boost from it. So it just makes sense, you know what I mean? When you add everything up, it literally does make sense. Plus, when you think about it, Universe 7 would have had a healer as well with Boo if he didn't fall asleep. So it's like, it's not that out of ordinary. It's not like it's impossible, you know what I mean? So I can totally buy them having a healer, and it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. Guys, I want everyone to, first of all, before you comment all your thoughts and opinions, please pause the video or, you know, go into the description section, open a new tab or something. Go check out MJ. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. I know we do a lot of videos together, but, you know, if you listen to our videos and you don't subscribe to him, please make sure to. The guy makes some really awesome content. But with that being said, I want everyone who, you know, has an opinion on this one way or the other, go down to the comment section below and share your opinions. And I want everyone to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I want everyone to share this out to your friends, and I want everyone to have a good day. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button, and we're gonna catch you all in the next video. It's been real.